Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu salam rasulullah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in ma ba'd. The question is about making up witr during fajr time or subh time, depending what you want to call it. But so obviously we know that witr time is up until fajr adhan generally. After Isha prayer, you have up until fajr adhan or subh adhan. So, assuming that you usually pray and you intended on praying it, you can make it up during the Fajr time before sunrise. Okay, but there's a lot to consider here. Firstly, so you want to pray, of course, your 2 rak'at Fajr and then your 2 rak'at Subh. You want to pray both of those, which takes time, and the time is already limited. So there's different scenarios, especially with regards to how much time is left. Obviously, if it's the beginning of the time, then you should be good. Generally, you pray your 2 rak'at and then 1 rak'ah, and then you can pray the 2 fajr and the 2 subh. But there's scenarios. For example, there's 10 minutes left. You wake up with 10 minutes left until sunrise. Depending. Maybe you have time to pray, maybe 1 rak'ah witr, depending, with 2 fajr and then 2 subh, or at least 1 rak'ah subh before sunrise. So there's so many different scenarios with regards to how much time you have left, how long it takes you to pray anyway. Obviously you can even make up fajr, the 2 rak'at fajr, the sunnah one, not the fard. You can make that up, of course, after sunrise, like 20 minutes or so after sunrise, up until dhuhr time. So you have kind of maybe that to consider as well. So there's different things, but obviously the ideal is to pray witr during its time before fajr adhan or subh adhan. But in case you did miss it, you do have the option. Right, and again, just a kind of a full, assuming it's the beginning of the adhan time, so you have like an hour and something to pray, then that should be no problem at all to pray your 2 rak'at of shafi' and 1 rak'at witr, your 2 fajr and 2 subh, like that should be good. But closer to the end of the time, you have to kind of think, okay, how long do I have? Is it possible to pray all of this? We have like 20 minutes left. That should be fine as well. Because even the subh prayer, you can pray, short suwar. So the mustahab of the tiwal al-mufassal will go kind of out the window, of course, towards the end, because the prayer time is sacred. So you pray with a shorter surah, no problem. But generally, yes, you can make it up during the after the fajr or subh adhan up until sunrise. But again, you have to get it right with regards to how long it takes you to pray. Well, to get the conditions, of course, of like wudu and things, and then you want to pray, you have those things to consider. So you have the witr prayer, or the shafi' and the witr. You have the 2 fajr and 2 subh, and obviously the most important thing is going to be the 2 subh, of course, at that point. Especially because witr is a sunnah, and then you have the raghibat al-fajr. The fard is always going to take precedent, especially if you have like 5 minutes left until sunrise, and obviously depending how long it might take you to pray, or everybody's probably different, but you want to make the fard the priority at that point. But you could, if it's 5 minutes left, not to exhaust all the scenarios, maybe you could pray 1 rak'ah witr or so, then catch at least 1 rak'ah of the of subh prayer. And then maybe, so then you'll complete the subh prayer, the fard, and then after the 20 minutes or so after sunrise, you can make up the 2 rak'at of fajr, the raghibat al-fajr. So you have to study it and kind of understand, the different things. But if you have the principle, though, you can kind of get the different scenarios just by knowing the principle. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.